everyone. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let me know that you are here. Give me a thumbs up. Tell me where you're at. I am just going to share this and make sure that I am in all the places I'm supposed to be at. Eventually, I won't have to do this because I'll be used to my system and I'll know that it's working. So, let me go live here too. All right. Let me just check on here as well. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I'm going to go ahead and share this. And when you come in, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you are here. Tell me where you're at and what the weather is like. I gotta mute this other one over here. Okay. So, sunny Florida is actually sunny today, which is a great thing. Something to be excited about. Let's see. Okay, share that out. And come on in. Let me know how you're doing. We're going to get ready to get started, jump in here today, have some awesome discussion about content creation. Let's see. And have some discussions about content creation today. So come on in and join me. Hi. Where are you joining me from? And tell me what your weather is like over there. Yesterday, here in Florida, it was actually it was cold and rainy, but today it's not. Today we have some nice and sunny weather out here in Florida today, which is great. So I am going to mute this other one that I'm in. I just have to make sure that I'm on because I'm multi-streaming on multiple platforms. So I am on Instagram here, and up here I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch Live. And following this discussion, I'm going to be hosting a tech corner. And that tech corner will start on Instagram, but then you'll have to jump on either Facebook or YouTube or something in order to ask me your questions so you can actually see the screen and see what I'm doing. So, I'm excited to come on today. It is a great, great day here in my house. We're celebrating, my husband and I, we're celebrating 19 years of marriage. So it's really exciting, which is one reason why I'm going to get ready to get started. I'm not going to be on here for like an hour, 2 hours, or anything like that. But leave me a comment down below as we are talking and let me know, like, what type of concerns do you have when it comes down to your content creation, because really that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the mistakes that business owners make when creating their content. So I'm going to stop leaning in because yesterday I leaned in and then it had like an echo. But my name is Makita Rodriguez, and I am a strategy and tech business coach, and I help my clients set up and automate their online business systems so that they can actually step away from the computer and they can work in their business and they can spend time with their family doing the things that they love. So my focus is on helping you stop worrying about all of the tech aspects of your business and really just set it up so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed when you get clients or when you're trying to come up with a new product or service or whatever it is that you do in your business. Is to be able to simplify that process for you so that you feel comfortable stepping away and doing other things. And so right now we are focusing in on content creation. Yesterday I talked to you about what content actually is and the benefits of using it. We talked about you really setting yourself up as an expert as you utilize your content and as you put things out, how you create resources for your audience. And so with that being said, today we're going to dive into the mistakes that content creators, business owners make when you are creating your content. Now, I said content creators, and some people would say, well, not every business owner is a content creator, but I kind of beg to differ a little bit here in today's day and age, because we're in the 21st century where if you're in business, especially right now during COVID-19, you are also online. And if you're online, then you are reaching out to your customers. And if you're reaching out to your customers, you are creating some sort of content. Because what is content? Again, content is what you share with your audience. It could be text based, it could be audio based, it could be video based. But regardless, if you are creating something that you're sharing over the internet, it's going to be content. If you are putting something in an ad, a newspaper, you've got content. If you're creating a commercial, you've got content. So now, even today, our product owners, product creators, they're even have to become content creators to figure out how to share their message online so that they can really reach their audience and they can reach their target goals. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this is to help you focus on crushing your goals with your content. That is the name of this series. It is crushing it with content, right? And so if we really think about what that means, it means that you're not just out here posting just because. It means you are trying to actually achieve the goals that you have in your business, which should be revenue generating goals, or how many people are you going to reach, your outreach. It should also be how you handle and connect with your current clients. So whatever the goals are of your business, you need to begin to focus on how you are going to utilize your content to help you. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that my sound is on. So I just realized you may not even be able to hear me. But it's important that you are able to focus on creating your content. And so today we're going to talk about those mistakes. So down in the comments, if you are here with me, then I want you to tell me that you're here, or give me a thumbs up. Let me know you're with me so that I know and we can jump in and get started. Again, I'm so glad to be here with you today. And I'm glad that the weather is what it is, because it was a little cloudy yesterday and kind of rainy, and it's been kind of cold here in Florida, which has been like, Florida's not supposed to be like that, but you know. So let me get a ready. Let me get a thumbs up. Show me that you're here. And like I said, if you want to jump off, if you want to stay on Instagram, you can. But if you want to see the actual setup and everything, when we go into the tech corner, then you're going to need to go into Facebook, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the mistakes that business owners make when it comes to creating their content. If you see me looking down, it is because I do have some notes here, and I enjoy talking, and I want to make sure that I stay on point. So I have me some notes to make sure I cover what it is that I want to cover. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. So the number one mistake that I see a lot of business owners make when it comes to their content is they are not strategic. They are not strategic. They don't really have a plan for what it is that they want to do in their business utilizing their content. They're just out here kind of posting like, oh, well, today I want to share this photo. Today I want to share this meme. Today I want to share this product or this service. And what happens is that content never really flows together. And so if you think about how we think in general, how we process information as people, we normally have to have like a something to prepare us, right? So in a book, you have a preface, okay? In a live or in a course, you have an introduction. You have something that prepares your mind to get you ready for the next step. And so when you are creating your content, why don't we do that? Why do we just kind of dive into whatever it is that you want to talk about and not prepare your customers, your clients, your audience for what's coming up? You don't have a plan. You're just out here throwing things together. And what is happening to your audience is that they're getting confused. They're not sure how to follow you because they don't know the track that you're on, especially when it's someone who's just coming to you. They don't know what you're talking about. They don't know where you are in your series, in your message. They don't know They don't know what you sell. They don't know what you have to offer. They don't know who you are. They don't know any of these things. So when you just kind of jump in and you're expecting someone to just follow you, it's confusing. And so one of the things that I see business owners do that's a top mistake is not having a strategy. Because not only is it not good for your customers, it's also not good for you. Because then you don't know where you're going, you don't know what you've already covered, you don't know what's coming up next, and you definitely don't know what you're going to sell in conjunction with whatever it is that you're talking about, right? And one of the primary goals, whether anybody wants to say it or not, primary goal of a business owner here on this online space is to sell your product or your service, to generate some sort of income. Yes, you absolutely want to connect with your audience. Absolutely. You absolutely want to make sure that your audience is engaging with you. You absolutely want to make sure that you are visible. But one of the primary concerns of being here online is that you have a revenue generating goal. And so if you don't have a strategy, then you don't even know what you're going to sell when it comes down to what you're sharing. And everything that you're doing should coincide. They should all go together. So, the top mistake that I see business owners make when it comes to sharing their content and creating their content is they don't have a plan. They are not strategic. Okay? All right, so now for number two. The number two thing that I see business owners, the mistake that I see them make when it comes to their content is that their content is not engaging or thought provoking. They're just kind of sharing it. It's like, oh, okay, this is nice. This is pretty. This is just what I want to share. Once again, that just what I want to share idea. That's all that it is. Okay? Or I think this is a good idea. But how are you going to engage with your audience with that? Do you ask your audience any questions? Are you giving your audience anything to think about? Are you educating them in any way about your product, your service, your topic? You know? And then are you giving them challenges? Like, people love to be challenged. People love to have a standard placed in front of them so that they can hit that standard. Are you doing any of that when it comes to your content? Are you challenging your audience? Are you asking them, are you saying, hey, look, like for me, I challenge you all the time when it comes to goals. I'm always asking you, have you hit your revenue generating goals? I'm always asking you, have you hit your goals for the week? I'm asking you, what is your strategy right now? Even right now, as we're talking about the mistakes that business owners make when it comes to creating their content, I am getting you to think about what it is that you're doing. And so a lot of people ask me, how do you get your audience to be engaged with you? Well, I think about it. I ask questions. I want to have a conversation. I want to know, what do you find challenging when it comes to creating your content, right? What is the problem that you find? What type of issues are you having? And so this is something that I find that is very important, because if your audience is not engaged with you, then you're missing a key component, is your audience's attention. You're missing out on their input, their feedback. You're missing out on what drives them, right? And if you're creating a product and a service for them, then you should be very much interested in what it is that drives them. And so you have to make sure that you're not making this mistake. Make sure that you're being thought provoking. Make sure that you are challenging them. Make sure that you are being engaging. You're creating engaging content that helps them to connect with you, to ask you questions, to wonder. All right? So that is mistake number 2. All right, so we're going to go on to mistake number 3. Mistake number 3 that I see business owners make is that they allow the creation process to become overwhelming. Did I skip one? Let me see. 1, 2, 3. So I said not being strategic, forgetting the purpose of the content. Well, let's go to that one. You forget the purpose of your content, okay? So, and I'm doing these in an orderly manner because I want you to think about, what are some of the things that you run into. So you're not being strategic. you forget the purpose of your content. Like we talked about this yesterday. Why are you creating your content? Are you trying to inform your audience? Are you trying to, what do you want to educate them about? Are you trying to entertain them? What is the point? Okay, what is that you're doing? And each piece of content, you need to remember the purpose of that particular piece of content as well. So you need to know the overall goal of why you're producing content. Like I mentioned, when I go on Clubhouse, I'm not on Clubhouse to sell. I'm on Clubhouse to connect and to inform and to be a resource, right? So why are you creating the content that you're creating? Hey, why are you creating the content that you're creating? Are you wanting to inform your audience? Are you wanting to educate your audience? What is it? Are you trying to connect with them? What is the purpose? This is one of the mistakes that business owners make when they're creating their content. They forget why they are actually creating each piece of content and the content as a whole. And so they just kind of scattered and lost in what it is that they're doing, okay? So we've got they're not strategic when it comes to creating their content. We've got you forget the purpose of your content. And then we have your content isn't engaging or thought-provoking. Now, what's another one? Another one is you allow your content to become the content creation process to become overwhelming and frustrating. I see so many content creators, and when I'm talking with my audience and when I'm talking with business owners, you're just flustered. You're overwhelmed by the amount of information that you have to put out. You're overwhelmed by how many emails you have to write. You're overwhelmed by how many social media posts you have to create. You're overwhelmed by the flyers and the flyers that you're creating and sharing on Facebook. You're overwhelmed when it comes to creating a course. You're just overwhelmed with the entire process. You're not taking the time to set up any type of system. You're not taking the time to develop any type of process, like anything that you can repeat. You're not taking the time to do that. You just sit down every single time and you just go ahead and you start. You just start and you say, I'm just going to create this and I'm going to post it and I'm going to keep on going. And by not doing that and overwhelming yourself, you step into the next mistake, which is allowing the content creation process to be too time consuming. So it should not be a huge part of your business to simply create content. Content creation is very important. And if you are a thought leader, if you are an author, speaker, coach, of course, content creation is big. But at the same time, you still have clients that you should be working with, and you have other parts of your business that you should be running. So content creation should not take up an extremely large portion of running your business if your business is not content heavy. Okay, and by content heavy, I mean if you are a content creator in business, period, like that's what you do for other people, then absolutely content creation is going to be huge. But if you're a business owner that is creating t-shirts or mugs, or even as an author or a speaker, the content creation process of creating social media posts or emails and things like that, they should not be taking up the majority of your business functions, okay? You want to evenly distribute the amount of time that you're spending when it comes to focusing in on your different business activities. And I've said this before when we've talked about business inside the Smart Business Builder bundle. When I did it back in December, I told you that one of the key mistakes that I see business owners making is that you are not time blocking. You're not putting in where you're focusing in on your business activities, okay? And so, yeah, we do have time blocks when it comes to our regular lives and our regular schedules, but even in business, there should be times where we are time blocking. I shared with you yesterday that I sat down and I put out my schedule. Okay, yes, it is color coded. And that is because one of the things that I'm doing is I'm not only time blocking my life, but I'm also time blocking my business. And there are times where I connect with my audience. There are times where I connect on social media. There are times where I answer emails. It's time when I work in my business. And it's time when I create my content. And if you're not doing these things, then what you're doing is you're allowing the content creation process to become heavy and overwhelming. And this is something that you really need to make sure that you're not doing. Okay? So, the next thing that content is doing when it comes to their content, and I'm really wanting to say content creators because you really do create a lot of content in your business. But you're not repurposing your content. I don't see you repurposing it. I don't see the information coming back around again. And so what you do is you're on um, a constant cycle of always trying to produce something new. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but there's nothing new underneath the sun, right? Things come around again and again. And so it's important that as you are building your business and as you are creating information that you're putting out to your audience, it's very important that you take the time to not only share your content, but that you repurpose what you're sharing. Because there's nothing like having repetitive information. It helps the individual person. Repetition is very helpful. So if you see something come back around again, then it's a reminder. It helps it to sit in, to seek in, and for us to actually get whatever it is that you're sharing. Not only that, but from the business owner's perspective, you don't have to keep creating the same thing over and over again. Okay? For instance, like I shared yesterday, taking the time to sit down and create this piece of content, I'm not only sharing this with you live, but I am also creating something that will be put inside of the Crush It with Content bundle. It's a bundle that you can get. You can sit down and you can watch all these trainings, and I'm repurposing it, and I'm helping it. I'm using it to help me build my revenue. Okay, I'm using it. And then not only that, but you can take this same piece of content and you can turn it into a blog post, right? And you can pull from that blog post social media post, right? Then you can pull from that. If you can pull from this and turn it into a podcast, there's so many different ways that you can repurpose your content. And I see people just pushing out content like crazy. And then when I go through, and I know you don't think that anybody goes back through and looks at your feed, and a lot of people don't. But someone like me, who I'm trying to see if you are being strategic in your business, I'm trying to see if you are, how you're utilizing it, how is it going together with what you're doing, because this is what I do, right? I have a strategic mind. What I see is that you are not really deeply diving into how you can repurpose it. So it's a huge mistake that you're making, and I want you to start thinking about it. Start thinking about how much time you put into something, and then what happens when you only allow that thing to be used one time. It's kind of like leftovers. And I know some people don't like leftovers, but I love leftovers, okay? Especially when it's like my favorite food, like collard greens, rice, cabbage, and collard greens, right? Or even, you can take that, you can add it to another dish for the next day and just add a meat, right? Or what if you have salmon, right? You can take salmon and you can eat it for dinner, but then if you like fish and grits, you can turn it into breakfast. What you do in different portions of your life, you want to take that and translate that over into your business. You want to repurpose your content. You want to make sure that you are not making this mistake, because not only is it like a waste, because the first time that it's being seen and then that's it, it doesn't come back again. You're kind of like wasting the opportunity to help your customer, your client, your audience, but you're also creating more work for yourself. You should be taking the time to repurpose it so that one thing works for you over and over and over again. Okay. You want to share it. You want to just do some of the things that I've already shared with you. You want to make sure that you are repurposing it. And so that goes into one of the last mistakes that I'm going to share with you here today, which is that I don't see you rescheduling it. And so if you have anything that you can reschedule your content with, you should be rescheduling it. You should be reusing it, especially if you get high amounts of engagement with it. If you get a lot of likes or comments or shares, if people ask you these questions over and over again, you should be reposting it. You should be sending it out again. You should be putting it in an email. You should be just simply allowing it to reschedule. And there are ways that you could do that, which we'll get into later on in the series when I actually start showing you how to do some of the great and awesome things with your content. But for right now, I just want you to think about these mistakes. And I want you to begin asking yourself if you're making any of them. Like, how many of these mistakes are you making, and are they taking away from your regular goals, like whatever the goal is in general for your business? Because you may have like a general goal in your business of like, I want to be in business, I want to be a successfully running business for 5 years, but how much is it taking away from you being able to hit your income goals? Okay, the amount of time that you're spending on your content and the mistakes that you're making, how much is it taking away from generating revenue? Okay, and how much time is it taking away, period, just overall in life, in business, in headspace, all of the energy that is required for you to put that thing out, like to sit down and to create your content. It does take energy, even when you love it. Like, I love to write, I love to speak, so these things, and I love to like be creative and put beautiful things together, right? But these things, even when I do them, they take a certain amount of energy. They take a certain amount of prep time, then they take a certain amount of energy for me to actually put the thing out. And then after that, I kind of have to like recuperate and gather myself so I can move on to the next thing. How much time are these mistakes taking away from you? How much energy are these mistakes sucking out of you? Okay? How much are you giving to the mistake portion of the content? And what would it be like if you could just fix it? If you could fix these things, they would solve a lot of the different problems that you have, including, like I mentioned yesterday, when your customers come to you, or your audience comes to you, and they ask you a question, and they say, hey, and they say, like mine will ask me, well, what platforms do you recommend when it comes to building a website? You know what? I have content that covers that. You can go to a blog post, you can go to a video, you can go to a social media post. If you're on my email list, you can go check an email, right? And then I can send you to it. It's a resource, okay? You are wasting so much time when you don't repurpose your content, because you're not reminding your audience of the information that you already gave them. You are not, resharing it to tell them, hey, look, I know you may have forgotten this because this may not be your expertise area, but it is my expertise area. So help them to keep certain things in the front of their mind by repurposing it, right? Don't do them a disservice because you're not making your content engaging, because you're not making your content thought-provoking, or it's not challenging them, or because you're forgetting the whole point in your content. Like, who are you talking to? And what is it supposed to be doing for me when you are reaching out to me? Like, everything that I create, I have a goal in mind for how it should impact you. Whether you are here with me live, or you watch this later, or you purchase my bundle, or you get into my academy and you get it, or whatever, the whole point in me creating this is because I want you to think about the mistakes that you are making when it comes to creating the content in your business. And then I want you to think about, what is it costing you? Costing you? Is it costing your time, your energy? Is it costing you your money? And then I want you to think about, what would it be like if you fixed it? If you fixed the problem, how much time would you save? How much money could you make? And if you have money dripping out of your business because of these content mistakes, like, how much money could you save? How much more informed would your customers be when they come to you? I told you yesterday, when we create content the right way, one of the benefits is that you warm up your cold audience. You take your cold audience from not knowing anything about you, from not knowing who you are, what you do, how you can help them, or how they can buy from you, to knowing all of those things, even to getting deep into whatever topic it is that you're sharing. When you create your content, you warm up your audience by doing that. And if you don't do it, then you waste your time, because now, like I said about repurposing, now you got to jump out here every time and you got to redo it. No, absolutely not. If you want to know what it takes to be a smart business builder, I'm not going to keep teaching it because I've already taught it and now I've created a resource from it, and I'm going to keep sharing that resource with you. And I want you to go get that Smart Business Builder bundle. Now, will I incorporate that information into what I'm teaching? Yes, I will incorporate it because repetition is good for you, right? But at the same time, I also have to think about how much I'm putting into it. Great, I'm glad you love it. I also have to think about how much I'm putting into it because I want to challenge you. Remember, I said that your content should be engaging, it should be thought provoking, and it should be challenging you. I am setting a standard for you, and I want you to hit that standard. What's the standard? I want you to stop wasting your time. I want you to stop wasting your energy, and I want you to stop wasting your money, and I want you to start focusing in on how you can put your time, your energy, and your money to good use and create content that you repurpose and that you allow to be rescheduled so that it can actually educate your audience and warm them up. And then when you're hitting them with, here's the product or the service that I have, you're not hitting a cold audience who doesn't know anything about you. They actually like you, know you, and trust you by now, and they want whatever it is that you have to offer. So while I'm doing kind of a recap, please make sure that if you have any questions or if you could think of any mistakes that you make, post them down in the comments for me, okay? If you have any questions about content creation, let me know, because that's what this series is about. It's all about content creation. So I'm going to just do a quick recap for you. And so the 5 mistakes that business owners make, that I've seen them make when it comes to creating their content, is number 1, they are not strategic. Not strategic, don't have a plan when it comes to creating and putting out their content. Number 2 is they are forgetting the entire purpose of the content as a whole and individually, okay? You forget the purpose. What is the point? What is the thing going to lead to? What do you want me to do with it, all right? Number 3 is the content is not engaging, it's not thought-provoking, and it's not challenging. You're not connecting with your audience. You're just putting stuff out there and just saying, I did it. Well, what did you do? What did you accomplish? What did you get us to do? Like, did you get me to think something? Did you get me to feel something? Did you get me to make some sort of change in my personal life, in my business? Did you challenge me? Did you set a standard for me and then say, can you reach that standard? Okay, did you cause me to think about something? Like today, I want you to think about the mistakes that you're making in your business. What did you do? Because if you're just going to create the content and put it out there, then I might as well go to the next person, because if it's not going to do anything for me, why am I here, right? So that's the next mistake. So it's 1, 2, 3. Number 4, you allow the content creation process to become overwhelming. You don't have a process of how you do it. You don't have a system set that you can repeat. You just do it. And it just becomes overwhelming because everything that you are doing right now, especially right now, as you're creating content, you're putting it out, it's just like, I got to get it done, I got to get it done, I got to get it done. And you're not thinking about the how, and how can I repeat it, and how can I save me time? You're not thinking about that. So you allow the process to become overwhelming. How much is it going to cost, okay? The next thing is you take too much time to do it. Because you don't have a process, because you don't have a system, not only does it feel overwhelming, but you actually take way too much time to do it. I promise. It should not take that long to create all your content. It really shouldn't. Like, you can create a year's worth of content in a day if you really need to. All right? You really can. So, then the next one, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next one is number 6, you are not repurposing your content. You're not repurposing it. You're not taking it and turning it into something else. When my first book that I wrote, the majority of the information in it came from my blog. Being Mrs. Mom, it came from my blog, okay? And I took those blogs and I repurposed them into stories and I published them. That is repurposing. You have so much information that you are constantly putting out. You have to repurpose this content. It has to turn from a video into a blog post, and from a blog post it could be a podcast into social media posts, into emails. Okay, you could break it up and turn all that into a book if you really need to. You don't have to work so hard, okay? All right. And the last thing is you're not rescheduling. You are not bringing this information back to the forefront of your audience's mind to remind them about whatever it is, whatever the topic is that you share. You're not reposting it. You're not sharing it with me again to remind me of what you already taught me, to help me to think back and go, "Oh shoot, I meant to do that. I meant to check on that. I meant to ask her this. I meant to go and look that up." Reminders are good. Somebody asked me, does your audience not get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again? You know, I create enough content that sometimes I don't even know if you know that you're seeing it over and over again. But then sometimes you do, and that's okay. The point is, I want you to see it over and over again. I want you to remember that I have a post that I have on Facebook. I want you to remember that I sit in front of my camera and I talk to you. This is what I do. I teach you, right? I help you to understand certain concepts, and I want to challenge you so you can grow and you can be great and awesome in your business. So these are the 7 things that I see business owners, the mistakes that I see you make in your business, okay? And so what I want you to do, if you enjoyed this, then I want you to make sure that you like it and share it. Let somebody else in on this information. You may want to go back and watch it again. And if you want to be able to get this whole entire series that I'm creating, then I want you to go over to focus.makitarodriguez.com/get more and click on the pink button and get the Crush It with Content bundle for $37. It's not always going to be $37. It's going to go and be repurposed, right? It's going to be put somewhere else because this is a full-length training. But that's what I want you to do, because these are not going to stay up. Right now, there's the one from yesterday is up, but it is going to be coming down right after I post this one, and it's going to continue happening with this entire series. And we're going to get deeper into this. And so how does the Crush It with Content bundle work? Well, when I share a video like this, then the video training immediately goes into the Crush It with Content bundle platform, because it is hosted on a platform. It's like a course, and you can go in and you can watch the videos. You will end up having a checklist and some reminders. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do an ebook, but you will have a PDF with a checklist that will help you to stay on top of these topics that we're talking about, okay? And so if you're on Instagram, then what you're going to do is you're going to go to my bio, you're going to click the link in my bio, and you're going to tap on the pink button. If you are on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the link in the description box, and you're going to click the link button, the pink button. Everybody click the pink button, because that is the Crush It with Content bundle for $37. Again, it will not always be $37, but it is right now because of where we are with teaching it, and I am teaching it live, and I want you to get this. And like I said, if you know anybody who needs it, then go ahead and share that with them. Also, I want you to be thinking about what you need in your business as we're moving forward, because I've talked to you before about my Smart Business Builders coaching program, and I am going to be launching it again very soon, and the number of people that I'm taking is going to be very limited. But I want you to start thinking about what you need in your business, okay? Do you have your website? Are your landing pages up? Do you have your content rolling? Is it published? Is it scheduled? Do you know what you're supposed to be doing from here on out? Okay. The other thing is, do you have your emails going? Do you have email campaigns and email sequences that you are sharing with your audience that are coming to you? Do you have a lead magnet? Okay. Do you have your funnel set up? Are you able to send someone through your business and start generating income automatically without you having to walk them through every single step? Is your content automated? Is this process automated so that it can be consistent and repetitive, bringing in more revenue for you? Okay. If you are missing any of these elements and you would like to know how I can help you, then send me a message. You can post in the comments below, or you can go and you can schedule a discovery call, and that is going to be at more.makitarodriguez/discover. Okay, so it's more.makitarodriguez.com/discover. And so what I'm trying to do here is create multiple ways for you to get what you need. I've been hearing different things that you need, and I'm listening to you, and I'm here to help. So there are these different avenues, but you got to decide what you need, and you got to decide what you're willing to invest in yourself so that we can move on and take the next step. So I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. I will be back tomorrow sharing with you again on content, because that is what we're talking about right now. And I'm going to get ready to close this out, because right after this, I'm going to be hosting a tech corner. So if you have any questions for about 15 minutes, anything tech wise, if I'm able to help you, I definitely will. And so I'm going to jump off and dive right into that. So thank you so much for joining me.